Hey everyone, checking in on cryptocurrency. The bulls still have control, still seeing continuation signs, but we know what to be looking for if that comes to an end in the near term, and we'll point that out. Some of you already know. But we're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum Litecoin, XRP, EOS, BNB, USDT. 4-hour time frame is going to be a focus of ours. That's what I'm using the rest of my Bitcoin position as an indicator, losing the 4-hour uptrend, and I will be gone and waiting for healthy daily consolidation. So first things first, the S&P 500 has made some major breaks in support. We have broken the monthly uptrend, we have rolled over, broken the lows of our last significant dumps, and there's a lot of fear, people talking recession. And one thing that I have always wanted for the cryptocurrency space is for it to be a safe haven in market weakness. When the stock market is weak, I want to see cryptocurrencies a place to go, kind of like physical metals are at this current point in time, precious metals. That hasn't happened, but I do believe that if that narrative can take hold, that will be notable. So if we enter a bear market in the S&P 500, and the last two major bear markets were the tech bubble burst in 2000 and the 2008 collapse, those lasted a year and a half and 2 years. We are currently into month number 3 on this S&P 500 pullback. So we could potentially be in a downtrend and be in a bear market for a year plus. And if the timing lines up right, with the cryptocurrency space reaching its temporary bottom, starting to change its trend. Again, we're very early. The daily trend has not even confirmed. Bitcoin has broken the lower highs. We need a daily higher low and higher high to see follow through. And of course, we still need the weekly trend to change for any kind of long-term sentiment shift. But if that can happen when the S&P 500 is in a weekly downtrend, in my opinion, CNBC and the talking heads can, perhaps come around that narrative, and maybe that narrative takes hold. And again, I do believe that would be a good thing, and that was something that I was looking for when the S&P 500 was all-time highs and running to extreme levels. We know consolidation is coming, and if consolidation can favor the cryptocurrency space, that would be beneficial. Again, we're not there yet. We're waiting for the backed exchange and Fidelity to come out with its exchange so we can get some more institutional money so that it's easy for money to leave stocks and go into crypto, because right now it's not easy for that to happen. There's a lot of steps. Not a lot of major players are doing that. But again, this is a narrative and a inverse correlation that I'm keeping an eye out for, because I do believe that would be beneficial to the cryptocurrency space to give people, again, another outlet, another place to put money when there is weakness. So worth keeping an eye on the S&P 500 videos. I put them out every single day, and worth keeping an eye on how the cryptocurrency space begins to interact with that. So Bitcoin daily chart continuation. Bearish reversal candlestick on the daily time frame yesterday, but as we know, we have to zoom in and look for more details, because at that point in time, the 4-hour time frame had just started consolidating, and we still had the higher low, and we knew a 4-hour higher low was going to form. So we can't just look at that daily reversal candlestick and say, oh, the top is in, because we zoom into the 4-hour and say, oh, that's just healthy 4-hour consolidation. And it gave us that big upper wick on the daily time frame because of the timing of when the daily candlestick rolled over to the next candlestick. It was during this healthy consolidation. So we ended the video yesterday saying we're looking for consolidation. We're looking for a 4-hour higher low. We were looking at the head and shoulders pattern here. We had the left shoulder, the head, a weak bounce on the hourly, and when it rolled over, that told us to look for the 4-hour higher low. And the setup was there for a solid bull entry. And the reason is we hit this 4-hour exponential 12-period support. And at that point in time, the 15-minute RSI was oversold. So that's one of those scenarios where multiple time frames line up for a signal. 15-minute oversold for the first time. Look at 15-minute, the last time it was oversold. So since this bounce got started, 15-minute, and even actually before the bounce got started. So when the bounce got started back at 32s, the 15-minute RSI has bounced off of 30, 1, 2, 3, and most recently last night was number 4. So the 15-minute oversold RSI has been money, and I actually didn't notice the previous times how it's been a nice signal until just now. But as far as last night goes, 15-minute RSI hitting oversold as the 4-hour chart hits its exponential support, and that was our higher low. So you could either enter on that 15-minute oversold bounce, or you could wait for the 4-hour inside bars. Inside bar bull break, and the 4-hour inside bars have been a pretty good signal on this move to the upside. This is our crypto alert system here on the charts, and here is the 4-hour inside bar indications. 4-hour inside bar broke bullish to kick off the party back when it got going for the bulls. Actually, it was really all the way down off the bottom. 4-hour inside bar broke bullish. A second one broke bullish. We had another one break bullish. Pretty much every single leg up is a 4-hour inside bar breaking bullish. We did have one that looks like a temporary top with a big upper wick of profit taking. So at this point, we would have 5 of the inside bars that have occurred since the bottom. 4 out of the 5 have given great entry signals. Keep an eye on those inside bars. In this market environment for this alert system, I am looking longer term. So I don't like the 15-minute signals too much right now, aside from abnormal volume. But inside bars, 4-hour and daily are what I'm watching for longer term signals. And again, 4 hours has been a pretty good one so far. So daily time frame, where do we stand? Or actually on the 4-hour, where do we stand right now? Another 4-hour just formed, a higher low. That's at 38.78, solid move from the bulls, but I'm not a big believer in this bounce. And the reason for that is look at the volume. That tells me that this bounce is very likely to just set a lower high. And we'll look for an equilibrium, but in my opinion, our temporary top is close to happening here. Again, I still have a third of my Bitcoin position from my original entry, scaled out the other 2/3 on the way up, and I am going to be exiting the last third position here on, and actually now that I look at it, I'm probably going to exit before this support breaks, because again, I am not trusting this bull volume whatsoever, and I'm not trying to let another 2-3% go just to see that support break. So I have to ponder that a little bit more, whether I'm gonna stick to the 4-hour time frame or exit because of the lack of bull volume on a bounce remains to be seen. But as far as bullish entries at this point, I don't like them, because when this 4-hour uptrend is lost, we're going to look for healthy daily consolidation to form a higher low. And at this point, it's an hourly equilibrium that's likely going to form into tonight. And if this hourly equilibrium, we set a lower high and come down and break support, then the 4-hour uptrend, in my opinion, will be lost, and we'll potentially lose these exponential moving average supports. The hourly, we want to see these hourly exponential moving averages not see a bear cross, because we have not seen a bear cross from the bounce originating. So that would be notable if and when it does happen. It almost happened here, but did not get that cross. So again, I'm seeing signs that tell me we might be near a temporary top. So I have to stick to my original game plan. I'm doing thinking on the fly here while I'm doing this video, but I'm sticking to my original game plan. It's a small enough position that I don't worry about giving a few percent back. I'm going to use the 4-hour higher low because that's what I said I would do, and it's been a great guide so far that has allowed for me to stay in to the last 2 legs up because I respected that. So I'm going to stick with it. Ethereum on the daily time frame, significant follow through for the bulls as well, negating the bearish candlestick from yesterday because it was just a higher low pattern on the 4-hour time frame, remaining intact. And we don't even have a higher low forming right now. It's a 4-hour inside bar. Anything above 98.16 is a 4-hour higher low. So this 4-hour consolidation has not even started. Exponential support has been holding on the way up. That's a level to be watching if and when we do consolidate. And here's this hourly equilibrium setting up similar to Bitcoin. We're watching for an hourly lower high to form. 108.80 is key support. 119 is key resistance. So tightening hourly time frame. If the hourly uptrend is lost, we zoom out to the 4-hour and look for the 4-hour higher low to form. There's a lot of space for the bulls to form that higher low. So it's looking like bulls are just fine heading into tonight, depending on what kind of signal you're using. If you're using the midterm time frames, 4-hour chart, bulls are just fine. Litecoin on the daily, same thing. 4-hour time frame also has not really started consolidating just yet. 28.64 is the last higher low. Anything above that will keep the bulls in control. We have the same hourly tightening pattern here. We're looking for the hourly lower high to be set shortly after this video uploads, and we'll be watching for whether or not the support level holds. 31, actually I take that back. It's 31.03 and 30.77 are 2 key support levels. Bears are hoping that this is a head and shoulders pattern, with this being our right shoulder. And if that rolls over, again, zoom out to the 4-hour and look for a 4-hour higher low to form. XRP on the daily time frame, inside bar forming, had that big day yesterday with follow through, and we have a nice 4-hour equilibrium. So this is a classic equilibrium with our lower high at 401. Our last higher low was 353, and the bulls are trying to form another higher low here. Not enough follow through yet to be convinced that 372 is our higher low yet. Bulls would love for that to be the case. Need to see a bull break over 387, the high of this candlestick, to say, all right, that's our new higher low. But at this point, tightening range on the 4-hour, and should see a clear equilibrium break overnight tonight on XRP. EOS, also a tight daily inside bar, 4-hour time frame. So you can see the slight difference in setups where we have a double top here. Bulls need a higher low compared to 248. But the difference is that Litecoin and Ethereum are very similar on their 4-hour time frame without consolidation happening yet. XRP and EOS are similar with a 4-hour equilibrium, and Bitcoin's in its own little world a little bit here on the 4-hour, potentially setting up for the start of an equilibrium, but again, it's a little bit different than everybody else. So it's noticing who's in similar patterns, who's in different patterns, but EOS 4-hour tightening pattern, and the bulls are hoping that 264 here is our higher low. But like I said, we need a little bit more follow through for the bulls to be confident that that is the case. Binance. So BNB USDT, 4-hour equilibrium. So same as EOS and XRP. We've got 583 as resistance, 523 as support. Lower high was hit at 579, and now a higher low trying to form at 539. Tightening range set to break tonight. With a bull break, we look for continuation. With a bear break and a loss of the 4-hour uptrend, we zoom out to the daily and look for a healthy daily higher low to form. So 3 names here with 4-hour equilibriums. If they break bearish, zoom out to the daily for daily consolidation. Otherwise, we can still see a consolidation period. And I would imagine that if Bitcoin and these names do consolidate on the 4-hour, Ethereum and Litecoin, to form that 4-hour higher low, that would likely result in a bear break of the 4-hour equilibriums of the other names. So it's almost like the names that don't have the equilibriums forming have a little bit more cushion to work with of being able to consolidate while maintaining the 4-hour uptrend of support. So bottom line is bulls are still comfortable. That was a nice recovery from the pullback just now. Again, it's just the volume. The volume is my prove it indicator, and this is not bulls proving it to me. So I am remaining skeptical. If that bull volume starts to show up, I'll change my tune. But until then, I'm watching for the potential that our temporary top is going to be set and healthy daily consolidation will be needed. We're going to anticipate that the vast majority of these names will form a daily high or low, and the clues on the daily consolidation are going to be very telling. What does the volume look like? Is it low bear volume? How much of the move do we give back before we form that high or low? And those are all things that we're going to check in on over the next couple of days and when I see you tomorrow. Exponential moving averages on the daily time frame for Bitcoin have not crossed bullish since the 6,500 bear break occurred, and in my opinion, those are going to get real close to crossing next week, early next week. But again, it all depends on what consolidation looks like. Very nice volume on this move on the daily time frame. So that's where we stand. That was a mouthful. I appreciate you all watching. Hope you continue to do good things out there this holiday season, and you better believe I'm going to be making videos Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Holidays don't mean anything to the chart guys. We'll see you soon.